What's up guys, my name is Dale from Creator Pro website, and in this video we're going to be doing a complete Shopify tutorial. And this is going to be step by step, so it's going to be super easy to follow for beginners. And for those of you that are subscribed to me, you may notice that I am not in my usual studio. I'm in between moving, and it's not going to stop me. We're still going to do this. So before we jump in, let's cover what is Shopify and how does it work. Shopify is a very popular e-commerce platform that allows you to create an online store, add your products, and then grow and manage your business. It allows you to manage your inventory, your products, and your shipping. And if you don't have any products or you don't have the cash to invest in products, then you can always use Shopify for dropshipping. Dropshipping is a method of selling products online without having to keep an inventory yourself. Basically, you market products on your store that belong to a manufacturer, and when a customer buys from your store, the manufacturer handles fulfillment and shipping, and then you take your share of the profit for making the sale through your store. So how much can you make with Shopify? Well, that's entirely dependent on how much work you want to put into your store, but there are plenty of people that are making anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 to $150,000 per month with Shopify. So regardless of whether you choose to do your own products or to do drop shipping, this tutorial will help you get set up with an awesome online store and show you everything you need to know to run it. And this is a long tutorial, so I recommend getting comfortable and building your store alongside with mine during this video. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so step one is to sign up for Shopify. So if you click on the very first link in the description of this video, it will take you to a 14-day trial. And the page is going to look like this, or depending on when you're watching, it might look slightly different, but it's all the same process. So what we're going to do is put in our email, and then just click on Start Free Trial. And then just put in a password. And we don't want that to remember it. And then a store name. So I'm going to be building a store around travel clothing. So I'm just going to put in my store name, which will be Wander Travel Apparel. Like that. And then just click on Create Your Store. And don't worry about the URL up here because we can always purchase a professional domain name to actually host this Shopify store. So from here, what we're going to do is answer some questions. So are you already selling anything? Well, I'm just going to say that I'm just playing around because we're just getting started. And I'm not going to be checking any of these boxes because I'm going to show you how to do all this stuff. So now, what is your current revenue? We're just going to say $0 We're just getting started. And if you are designing this store for a client, you can just check that, but I'm not. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Next. And now we're just going to fill in some of our personal info. And then just click Enter My Store. Cool, and here we are inside our Shopify dashboard. So if you look over here on the left, this is your main menu. This is where you're going to be able to access everything you need to do with your store, including manage your orders, you can create new products, you can manage your customers, view some analytics on how your store is performing, work on your marketing, and create discount codes, and then even install new apps and plugins. And I will be getting to all of this stuff. So with that said, let's jump into step two, which is to customize your Shopify store. So this is the fun part. This is where we're going to be designing the look and the feel of our storefront. So let's go ahead and go over to Online Store over here on the left. And this should automatically take you into themes. And if it doesn't, you can just click on themes right here. So here is where we're going to be picking the look and feel of our store. Now if you scroll down, there's a theme library and you can look at free themes. So if you just click on this button, Explore Free Themes, that will take you into an entire list of themes that you can view and you can preview them and everything. And these are the free ones, and then there are also some that you can pay for. But we're going to be just going with this normal debut theme right here. So just go ahead and click Customize underneath the debut right here. Okay, so here's our store, and if we scroll down, you know, it's looking pretty plain and boring, so we're going to spruce this thing up. So first thing that we're going to do is edit our header up here. So if you go over to the left-hand menu and underneath sections, you'll see header. Just go ahead and click on that, and then you can see that we can put in a logo. So let's go ahead and get a logo. So I'm going to go up to the top and type in logo maker without the e.com. And this is a free tool that allows you to make logos really easy and for free without needing any software. So for this, I'm going to be creating a compass logo because it's a travel company. So if you just go up to the search window up here, you can just type in, let's say, compass, and click enter. And then you'll just get tons of icons that you can use, and you can customize the color. So I'm just going to select one at random. So I'm going to go with this one right here, kind of like that one. And you can just drag it around by clicking, and then if you drag on one of the corners, you can drag it all the way up, like that. And what I'm going to do is make a black one and a white one. So I'm just going to leave this as is, and if you want, you can add text by clicking over here, and then you could type in whatever you want, and then you can change the font family as well as the font itself just by clicking in here, and you can select any font that you want. And then you can change the colors of everything over here at the top right. So you can just drag any color on this circle and then change the saturation right here in this little box. But I'm going to delete that text, and I'm just going to save this logo out. So I'm just going to click on the Save Logo button at the top right. And then it's going to ask you if you want to pay for the high resolution one, but we're just going to say no thanks, download the low resolution file. And it'll want you to give credit, and you can put this somewhere hidden anywhere on your website, like logo made by logomaker.com. But we're going to go ahead and download the low resolution file for free. And there we go. So it just hit our downloads. And then I'm just going to hit the X, and I'm also going to make this one white. So I'm just going to drag to the white and then click Save Logo. And then again, no thanks, download the low resolution file. And there we go. So just like that, it is super easy to create a logo. So now I'm just going to go back over to Shopify, and I'm going to click on Select an Image. And then it's going to say your library is empty, so let's go ahead and upload an image. And then I'm just going to go over to where I keep my images. And by the way, I'm going to give you all of these follow along images in the description. There will be a download link in case you want to follow along and use all of my images, and just make sure you're doing everything step by step. So for this, I'm going to choose the black logo and then just click on Open. Cool. And then there is our logo. So I'm just going to hit Select. And then if you just go over to Custom Logo Width, you can just drag that down a little bit and then let go, and it will adjust the size for you. So I'm going to go pretty small. I want to be subtle about my brand, you know? So just like that. And then if we scroll down inside this menu, I'm also going to check the Show Announcement bar. So this is going to create an announcement up here at the top. So it could be something like free shipping on all orders over $50. Like that. And then as you can see, it updated up here. And then in the link, we're going to link this to our collections page. So I'm just going to put collections, and this is where we're going to keep all of our products. So I'm just going to hit collections, and then I'll just do all collections for right now. But later I'll show you how to create collections, and then you can select individual ones if you're running a certain sale on a specific collection. But I'm just going to say all collections. And then if we scroll down, we can change the color of this announcement. So I'm just going to click on the little blue color next to bar, and I'm just going to change this to kind of a sandy color, maybe you know, like a desert, maybe something like that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. And then you can also change the text color as well, but I'm going to leave it as white. Cool. So now we're just going to go up to Save and make sure that we're saving our work, because you don't want to lose any of your hard work. And then we're also going to go over to the back arrow. And the next thing that we're going to edit is this image with text overlay. And this is otherwise known as your hero image. So if we just go up here and click on image with text overlay, we can edit that here. So let's go ahead and add an image. So I'm going to click select image, and I'm just going to go to upload. And I'm just going to choose my hero image that I have here in the folder that I provided, and click open, just like that, and then click on select. And in here you can change how the image is playing in this space. So his head's a little bit cut off, so I'm going to go to image alignment and I'm just going to do top. That's a lot better looking. And by the way, if you want to get awesome free images, you can just go over to pixabay.com. And no, this is not sponsored by Pixabay. It's just a really cool website that I use to get royalty-free images. You don't need to pay for anything. It's awesome. You can just type in anything you want and get images here. And I do recommend resizing your photos, because if you put a really large image here that's like 3,000 pixels, then it's going to slow down the load time on your store. So what I recommend is doing in this hero image area a maximum of about 12 or 1300 wicks in pixels. So if you just go over to a new tab and go to photor.com, you can then edit photos. So we're just going to go to edit a photo, and then we're just going to go up to the open button up here at the top, and I'm just going to choose one from my computer. And let's just say that I wanted to resize the hero image, but I do already have it set at a good size. What you can do, well, let's cancel out of that. What you can do is just go over to resize down here at the bottom left. And then as you can see, I have it already set at 1300 pixels. Oops. But you can type in a new value there and then just click on apply and it will change it here. And then you can just click on save to save out a new image. And it's going to ask you to sign up with your email, but it's completely free and they don't spam you with any emails or any. I don't think I've ever gotten a Photor email, but I also just connected with Facebook and you can do it in one click. So I'm just going to go up and close this and close Photor as well as Pixabay, and I'll also close the logo maker. So we're back here, and what you can do next is change the section height. So if you go to section height, you can do adapt to image, and it will be the entire length of your, the entire width of your image, or you could choose small, and it's going to make it really thin. So if you want to do something like that, you can. So feel free to do whatever you want. I'm just going to go maybe to medium. I like the medium. And then we're going to scroll down and edit our heading text. So I'm just going to say travel anywhere with functionality and style. And then you can also edit the subtext right here as well. So if you go to text, you can change that. And then underneath you can also create a button. So underneath button label, I'm just going to say see collection. And then for the button link, I am just going to send it to collections and then do all collections. And again, if you have a certain collection that you want to send them to, you can do that. And as you can see, there's our button. So if you want to change the button color and the way that it looks, we're just going to go up and go to the back button and then go over to theme settings. And then we're just going to go to colors. And then as you can see, we've got buttons right here. So for primary buttons, I'm going to change that color. So what I recommend is doing something different than your usual color. So my main color is going to be this sandy color, and he's even got yellow in him. So I want this button to stand out more. A lot of people think if you do the same color, you know, it matches and it looks good, but it doesn't stand out. You want this button to really jump out to people so that they can see right where to go to buy products. So I'm going to do sort of a bright bluish color like that. And if we scroll down, you can also change the text here, the color of the text on the image overlay. So if you go to image overlays and go to text, you can then change the color there. So I'll just change it to something crazy so you can see it, and you might just have to give it a second to update. There it goes. So that's how you do that. But I'm going to go ahead and keep it as white because I think that looks the best. And then you can also change the background overlay. So I've kind of got this grayish background overlay. You can do whatever you want. You know, there's blue, you can do white and do black text if you want. But I kind of like the dark gray, even a black even, maybe something like that. And then we can also edit the typography, so the actual font. So if we go up and go back, we can go to typography. And then you can change that here. So as you can see, we've got work sans and semi-bold. So if we click on change, we can scroll down this list and you can change it to whatever you want. So we'll just say maybe something like that, and then click on select. Actually, before you even hit select, it'll show up here. Kind of like that, you know, it looks kind of travel-y, so I'm just going to click select. And then you can also change the size. So if you go to heading base size, you can bring that down a little bit, and that will change the text size. So I kind of like it all on one line like that, so I'm going to leave that. And then in here you can also change body text as well, so you can change the fonts for those. That's more of the stuff down here, like this text. You can change that as well. Cool, so I'm going to go ahead and click on save, just to make sure that we're saving all of our work. And now we're going to add in our social media. So I'm just going to click on the back arrow, and then I'm going to go to social media. And for this image section, I'm also going to put in my compass logo. So I'm just going to select the compass logo and click on select. And now whenever you share a link on social media, this is the icon that they will see. So just scroll down, and here is where you can put in your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. You can fill in all of that right here. But I'm not going to bore you with all that stuff, so I'm going to go back and we're going to move on to Favicon. So Favicon, if you click on that, that's this little symbol up here. So right now it's a little shopping bag. That's the Shopify stock Favicon. So what we want to do is put yours in here. So again, let's just go to select image, and I'm going to choose my same logo and then click on select. And then now I'm just going to click on save again, and then I'm going to go back and then go over to sections. And then the actual logo will change after your site is live later. So don't worry about it right now, it will show up. Alright, so now what we're going to do is move on to the image with text section. So the featured collection, we're going to be coming back to that later. So let's go ahead and click on image with text, and it's going to bring us to the section. And we're just going to select an image and then click on upload. And then I'm just going to select this image of boots right here and then click open. Like that, and then I'm just going to click select, and then I'm just going to go down and edit the heading right here. So I'll just say something like rugged boots collection now available. And then you can also edit your text underneath here, but again, I'm not going to bore you with writing out a whole paragraph right here. And then you can also add a button. So again, we'll see boots. Sorry, not bots, boots. There we go. And then you could just go to the boots collection if you have one, but in this case I'm just going to say the all collections. But again, if you create a whole collection, you can just select the boots collection, and then you can edit the button as well. Cool, so now I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to go to slideshow, which is our next section right here. And you can add new images in here if you just go down and then you click on image slide for the first one, and then you can select an image and then go to upload, and I'm just going to grab the slideshow one right here and click open. There we go, and then click select, and then I'll go down to the actually here I'll close this one and then go to the next image slide, select an image, upload, and then I'll go to slideshow 2 and then select, close that one, and then I'll add a new image slide and then just do select image, upload, and then slideshow 3. Cool, and now just click select, and then I'm going to close that, and I'll just go back to image slide number 1, and you can edit the image's position, the heading, the subheading, everything that you want. The same thing as you would do for your hero image up here. You can edit all of that stuff right there, and then anyone can just click on this button and go through your image slide. And then you can add a different button on each one, so these might all be different collections or different types of products. Maybe it's like women's jean jackets, and then the next one is backpacks, and so on. But I'm going to close this, and then you can change when it actually changes the slide. So this is every 5 seconds. And then you can also change the slide height. So right now it's adapting to the first image. We could just do small, and it'll keep it a little bit smaller. And again, you'd have to go in and actually go to each image and adjust where it sits, either the top, the middle, or the bottom. But I'm just going to go to maybe kind of like a large. I like the big one. I'm just going to keep it as adapt to first image. And then click on save. There we go. And now the next thing that we're going to edit is our footer down here. So if we just go back and then we go to footer right here. First thing that I like to do is click on the show payment icons button, and that will put all of these payments down here, all the payments that you accept on your store, which is really helpful. And you can edit the background color for this footer right here if you want, and you can also edit the text color, which I showed you how to do. You just select a color. And then if we go to these different sections, you can edit each one. So as you can see, we've got 3. We've got this quick links, talk about your business, and the newsletter. So I'm going to open up the newsletter first, and you can change that to, let's say, join our email list, like that. And then when somebody puts in their email right here and clicks on the subscribe button, it will then add them to your customer list, and you can send them emails for new promotions and coupons and all sorts of good stuff. So I'm going to close this, and we'll go to our next one, talk about your business. Let's open that one up. And we're going to change the heading to have a question mark. And then we're just going to put in the text box, contact us at contact@wanderlife.com, because I already own that domain. And that's not actually a working email, so don't send anything to that email, please. And cool, so now we're going to close that, and then we're going to open up quick links, and we're just going to change this to explore because it kind of fits the travel theme. And then here you've got your footer menu. The menu is what we're going to create later, and I'll show you how to do that. And you can actually put in a menu right here, and it'll come up with different links that you can click all on top of each other. But for now, we're just going to leave it as is because we don't have a menu set yet. So now I'm just going to click on save. Okay, so now we're going to get some of our general settings in order. So let's just go over to the back button over here, and then click on the Shopify bag icon. And then we're just going to go all the way down to settings, and then go over to general. And then you can change your store name here in case you change your mind and you want to put it to something else. And then the account email is how Shopify is going to handle your settings, so make sure that this is set to the correct email. And then the customer email is what customers will see in case they contact you and you contact them back, or maybe you send them order updates or whatever it might be. This is what the customer sees. So you can set this to a different email if that's what you'd like. Maybe it's help@yourdomainname.com if you have a domain. But the account email, the customers will never see this, so you don't need to worry. And then if we scroll down, we'll just make sure that our information's correct. And right here underneath standards and formats, you'll see prefix. So I like to put in a prefix because if you have different stores, let's say this isn't your only one, you have multiple stores through Shopify for different niches, then you would want to put a prefix here, like say I'll do Wander Travel Apparel, like WTA. That way the ID for each of your orders will come out with that WTA in front and then whatever the order number is. That way, in case you've got another one that has a different acronym at the front or abbreviation at the front, then you'll be able to know what orders are coming in where, in case you have them all going to the same email. So this is just a really good idea for bookkeeping in case you're doing, in case you're managing your own orders. And then underneath, you can also change the store currency, but I'm going to leave mine at US dollar. And then I'm just going to click save. And then I am just going to go up to the top and go back to the settings. And then I'm going to go to payment providers. So by default, PayPal is already going to be set up with your email if you have a PayPal account with that email. And you can also set up Amazon Pay here as well, or any other third party. But you can also set up Shopify payments by Stripe if you complete the account setup. So we're just going to click on complete account setup. And then you just go through, so business type, you can change it. If you have an LLC, you can put one in here. But in this case, I'm just going to do individual. And then make sure that your address is correct and your personal details. So I'm not actually going to fill these in because that would contain my social security number. And then I'm just going to scroll down, and you can put in a description of the products or services that you are selling. So I'll just say travel apparel and accessories, like that. And then the billing statement, you can leave the same. And then here's where you can put in your routing number and your account number if you want to be paid directly to your account. But again, I'm not going to put these in for obvious reasons. And then you can just click on complete account setup. And then it's going to tell me, you know, I'm missing all this stuff, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it blank. So I'm going to go back to payments, and then I'm going to go back to settings. Okay, so now I'm going to go to checkout, and here we can edit our checkout settings. So underneath customer accounts, it says accounts are disabled, meaning that customers won't be able to create a returning account. So if they want to buy multiple things from you, you would want to make sure that you check optional, because then people can check out as a guest or they can create an account with you. So now I'm going to scroll down, and we want to leave this as customers can check out using either their phone or their email. And then I'm also going to check customers can choose to add a number or email to receive shipping updates. And then if we scroll down, I'm also going to require first and last name, because again, this helps with bookkeeping. And then I will scroll down to order processing. Actually, we're going to leave everything the same. And then additional scripts, this is where you can put in checkout conversion codes like Google conversion codes, but this is a little more advanced and not 100% necessary for creating a running store right now. So I'm going to skip that. And email marketing, what we're going to do here is hit the pre-select the sign up option. That way, whenever they're checking out, it'll already be selected that they want to sign up for your email list, which means you might be able to have more customers move over to your email list and then hopefully send them coupons and, you know, sales for things that you're doing and make more sales later. But then they can always uncheck it if they don't want to sign up for your email marketing. But it helps to have it pre-selected at checkout. And then I'm just going to go ahead and click on save. And now we're going to handle our shipping. So let's go all the way up to the top and click on settings. And then we're going to go over to shipping. And if you're drop shipping, then you really don't have to worry about shipping details as much because you're not going to be touching your own product. But in case you want to ship your own product, what we're going to do is just go over to manage rates. And then from here, you can go to create. So here we've got shipping to domestic in the United States. And you can see we've already got standard shipping, which is $50 and up is free shipping. And then it'll show you the weights here. So 0 to 5 pounds is $4.90 and so on. So in case you wanted to set your own rate, what you can do is just click on add rate. Then what you can do is just add a rate name. So we'll just say we're going to do free shipping on all orders over $50. I'm just going to show you how to create that. So we're going to call this free shipping, and we're going to give it $0, and we're going to go to add conditions. And then from here, we're going to do it based on order price. And then under minimum price, we're going to add $50. And we're not going to put a maximum because even if they order $150 worth of product, we want it to be free shipping. So now you would just click on done. And then you can see we've got free shipping, $50 and up is free. And if you wanted to do free shipping on all orders, you would just do the minimum price as 0. That way everything is free. But that's how you create a new rate for shipping. And then you can do the same with the rest of the world. You can add a new rate. So I'm just going to go up and click save. And by the way, these rates that Shopify sets for you are actually pretty good rates to go with. So it really would be a good idea to just stick to them. But if you are doing drop shipping, then you'll want to get rid of all these rates because you're not actually shipping product yourself. So you can just click on the 3 dots and then delete the rate. So anyway, I'm going to go back to shipping settings and then go back to settings again. And then the rest of these settings are all for taxes and notifications that are sent to you or your customers. So if you want to send notifications to your customers, you can create those in here. But what I want to do is I'm going to go to account because this one is important. So if you're having other people work with you, let's say you have other staff members working with you, maybe somebody's helping you out with this store, you can just click on add staff account and then you can put in their name and email and then you can give them full permissions or not. So if you uncheck it, then you can give them certain permissions like, you know, maybe they're only dealing with customers like their customer service or only dealing with creating new products for you, this and that. So whatever you want to do, you can choose that and then just click on send invite and it will go to their email. But in this case, I am not going to have somebody else working with me, so I'm just going to click on back. And I'm going to click back one more time because now we need to handle the fun legal stuff. So this is really important stuff. You'll definitely want to do this for your store. So if you just click on legal, you can see that we have got a refund policy, privacy policy, and a terms of service. So instead of hiring somebody to write these for you or trying to figure out how to write them yourself, Shopify has this awesome button called Create from Template, and if you click on that, it will create a refund policy for you. And then you can just go in and edit it however you see fit, and it will automatically put your email in there and everything. So this protects you legally, and then you can change it. Maybe you want to change it to 45 days. So then you would just go in and edit this. And then you can do the same for the privacy policy. So we'll do Create from Template. Again, same thing. And you really don't need to edit this one a whole lot unless you're doing any sort of cookies or third-party ads and things like that where they're using cookies. But I'm not going to get too far into all that right now. And then again, terms of service, Create from Template, as well as shipping policy. So this one you don't have a Create from Template. You would actually, this is all going to be dependent on your shipping. So then you would want to write this yourself. But again, if you're drop shipping, you really don't need to worry about this because you're not the one that's shipping. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Save. And now what we need to do is create pages for each of these policies because right now no one can see them. So what you want is links to these pages where customers can go to your store and read your refund policy or your privacy policy or whatever it is. So what we're going to do is just go over to Online Store, and we're going to open this up in a new tab. You want to leave this window open because we're going to be copying this data. So we're going to go over to this other window, and we're going to go to Pages down here at the bottom left, and then we're going to click on Add Page. And from here, we're just going to say this is the refund policy. And we're just going to go back to this other window and then grab our refund policy. So we're going to scroll all the way, oops, too far. All the way to the bottom like that. Copy this. And then we're going to go over here and just paste it in. Just like that. And then we're going to click on Save. There we go. And now if you view this page, we're just going to open that up in a new window as well. You can see here is our refund policy. So it's looking good. So now just go back to Pages and then click Add a Page. And we're going to call this one Privacy Policy. And then we're just going to go back, copy the privacy policy. There we go. And we're just going to paste that in and then click Save. Go back to Pages, add a page, and this next one is going to be Terms of Service. So I'm just going to copy the Terms of Service and then go back, and we're just going to call this Terms of Service, and then we're just going to paste this in and then click on Save. And then if you wanted, you could go back to Pages and you could create a shipping policy page as well by clicking Add Page and doing the same exact thing. And while we're in the Pages section, we might as well create a contact page and an About Us page. So I'm just going to click on Add Page again, and I'm just going to call this Contact. And then what you can do, instead of actually writing all of your own contact stuff here, you can just go to Template Suffix and then click on Page.contact. And then I'm just going to click on Save. And then we're just going to go over to View on your online store and open this up in a new tab. And here is your contact page where they can put in their name, email, and send you a message. And if you wanted, you could go back here and you could write in some extra content right here, like, hey, drop us a line, we're friendly, things like that. Or put an image or whatever it is. You can put an image in like that. So you can do that here and then just click Save, and then it will keep your contact box underneath it. Cool. So now we're just going to go back to Pages, add a page, and this is going to be our About Us. So then you would just write a little bit about your company right here. And in order to keep this tutorial short, I'm not going to write a full About Us here, but this is where you would want to write a really in-depth description of your business. So it shouldn't just be a few sentences about, hey, this is what my company is. It should be, what is your entire vision for your company, and what are the types of products that you sell? How do you make the products? Where are they made? For me, it would be delivering the most functional and stylish travel gear out there, and I would want to write where all of our products come from and how we come up with them, all sorts of details. And you would want to add images in between those blocks of text to make it easier to read. But again, to save this tutorial, to make it short, I'm not going to write all that right now. So then I would just click save. Okay, so now we want to create a new menu for our store. So let's go over to navigation. And I'm also just going to close this top window for the other page. And if you go over to main menu, we're going to edit this one. So just click on main menu. And you can name the menu here, but nobody's going to see that name, so it's not really that important. And what we're going to do is add a new menu item. So we're going to call this, let's say we'll do About Us. And then we're going to grab a link. And then we're just going to go to Pages because we just created the About Us page. We're going to grab About Us, like that, and click Add. And then we're going to go to Add a Menu Item. And we're going to name this one Contact. And then go to the link. Go back to Pages. And we're going to grab the Contact page. And then click Add. And if you wanted, you could add more. So if you go to Add Menu Item, and then you can name it whatever you want. If you go to Link, you can go through collections, products, and so on. So if you have a certain collections that you want to do, or products, like let's say collections, you have a men's section and a women's section, or maybe you've got women's shirts and men's shirts, you could select the collections here, and then you would just grab it from the collections dropdown. But I don't have any of that created right now, but I will show you how to create collections. So that's how you would add those other menu items to your menu. And that menu is going to be up at the top of your store. So anyone can just go up and grab it. And then if you wanted, you could create a drop down. So let's say that you have a men and a women section. So let's just say I go here, I'm going to name this Shop Women. And then I'm going to go to Link. And let's just say I had a women's collections. So I'll just go to Collections. And you would normally have a collection for, all sorts of women's products in here. I'll just select all collections for now, just so I can show you. Click Add. And then what I would do, let's just say that we add a new menu item, and we'll call this Women's Shirts. I don't know why I always capitalize the second letter. And then Link, we'll just go back to Collections as well. Again, pretend that we created a women's shirts collection or women's shirts products. And then you just click Add. So now to create a drop down, you would just drag women's shirts underneath over to the side of Shop Women. That way it would create this kind of stair stepper looking effect. And then if we click Save, I will show you how that works. So if we just go over to Online Store, we're going to just open that up in a new tab and then click View Your Store. So now up at the top you can see our menu, and if we go to Shop Women, now women's shirts pop up underneath. So you can create drop downs like this. So it's pretty cool. So now we're just going to edit our footer menu. So I'm just going to go back, and then I'm going to go to footer menu, and we're just going to leave it set as footer menu, and we're going to add some menu items. So I'm going to grab let's go to Pages. I'm going to grab the refund policy, and it will automatically name it as refund policy. Click Add. Add menu item, link, Pages, and then we're going to grab the privacy policy, automatically names it, add, and then again we're going to do add menu item, link, Pages, and then terms of service, and then add. And then you've also got search here if you want to enable a search bar, and you can delete anything you want by just clicking on the little trash can and hitting remove. Cool, so now we've got refund, privacy, and terms of service, and then just click on save. So now we're going to go over to the eyeball, and we're going to open that up in a new tab for our online store. And if we scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see now we've got the refund policy, privacy policy, and terms of service in our footer. So remember, that was the quick links that we changed to Explorer. Now Explorer really isn't the best term for just your refund policies. So you could put other links here if you wanted, and then include the refund policies underneath. Or if you wanted to, you could just create a new footer menu here in the add a menu section in here. So if you just go back to navigation, you could create a new menu right here, and then you could add both to the footer. Okay, so now we're going to edit some preferences. So if you just go over to preferences over here on the left-hand menu, we can now edit our homepage title and our meta description. So these are going to be really important as far as SEO is concerned. And SEO is search engine optimization. So this is how you're going to appear on Google. So with Google, you would want to have a highly searched key term. And ideally that term would have low competition. But I will get more into that in a bit. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to call this Wander Travel Apparel, because travel apparel is searched a lot, or at least apparel is, and travel apparel is a second runner-up. So this is a good key term to have right here. And then the meta description, you would also want to include that travel apparel or travel clothing, for instance, in this meta description, because Google is going to look at these things. It's going to read your title and then read your meta description. So I'll just write one in real quick. So it's a pretty quick and rough meta description, but it'll do. Now, if we scroll down, here is where you can put in your Google Analytics code if you have one. So if you're not sure what Google Analytics is, I will put a link in the description to one of my videos that is called What is Google Analytics? And I break it down with visuals, step by step, and you can learn what Google Analytics is in just a couple minutes. So now from here, I'm just going to scroll up and hit save. And now we're going to create a new blog post. I'm going to show you how to create blog posts. So if we go over to blog posts and click on that, we can now create blog post. And it works just like pages. So you can give it a title. So I'll just make one up. And then you would write a blog post about this right here in the content section. And again, I really recommend using images to separate your content. So I would write a whole article on the top 10 best and affordable travel backpacks, and ideally put some links to my other products on my store. So if I put, backpacks and spaces number 1 through 3, these are my top 3 recommendations, I would want those to link to actual products on my store. So creating a blog post is pretty simple. So now just click on save, and then you can also view it by clicking on view. Okay, so now we can move on to step number 3, which is to add products to your store. So obviously a store is not a store without products to sell. Now, if you're drop shipping, you won't really have to worry about this because you'll be using a third-party app. Like a very popular one is called Oberlo, and then this will manage your products for you. But if you are creating your own products, then let me show you how to do it. Okay, so in order to create a new product, we're just going to go over to products over here on the left. And then we're just going to click on add a product. Now, let's say that I'm going to create a backpack, like a travel backpack. So I'm just going to name it. And then underneath description, you'll want to write a description of your product. So I'm just going to paste one in that I already wrote from earlier. So here, waterproof canvas leather travel backpack. And then you can put features like I did here. So we'd want to separate these a bit. Specs, care instructions, and so on. So you'd want to fill this with all sorts of features of your product. Oops. And then you can also bold these as well, make it a little bit easier to find what they're looking for. And this is just a quick example, but ideally you'd want to write a pretty in-depth description of all of the features of your product so that everyone that's watching it can get a really good idea of what they're buying. And now I'm just going to scroll down and add some images. So I'm just going to click add an image. And then I'm going to grab the backpack beige, black, and blue, like that. And then just click on open. And now you can see we've got all 3 here, which is cool. And now we're going to move down to pricing. So for the price of this backpack, I'm just going to put in, say, $34.99. And then the compare at price is what the actual value of this would be, on other sites. So let's say you're running a sale to it. This would be what they're getting it for, and it makes people feel better that they're getting it for a deal if you put a compare at price. So let's say the compare at price is, say $65.99, like that. And then the cost per item is actually how much it costs to create that product. So then you could put that in here if you wanted. and it would show you your margins on what you're making on this backpack. So let's say it only took, $14 to make. Well, now you're profiting about double that. So now we can move on and give it a SKU, which is for bookkeeping. So let's just say this is Voyager-travel-backpack, like that. And then you want to track the quantity. So let's just say that in stock that I've got, let's say 10 of these. So then you put in the quantity here. That way you can track how many you've sold and how many you have left. And then if we scroll down, you want to make sure that this is a physical product is checked. If it is a physical product, if it's a digital product, then you don't have to worry about that. And then you could put in the weight. So I could just make up the weight for this. Let's just say it's, I don't know, 2 pounds. Oops, 2 pounds. And the reason the weight is actually important is for the shipping. So if this product is over 5 pounds, well, then it's going to increase the shipping rate. So you would want to make sure you factor those things in. So make sure that your weight of the item is accurate. So I'm just going to scroll down and we can skip the customs information. And then if you wanted, you could add variants. So this is like I've got here different colors of the backpack. So I've got a beige, a black, and a blue. So if we go down to variants and check that, you can add in what that is. So we'll just say color right here. And then you can separate the options with a comma. So this would separate the colors. So I would do beige, comma, black, comma, blue. There we go. And now I've got all my options in here. So as you can see, they pop up here in the preview, and you can change the price based on, obviously I wouldn't change the price based on color, but if you've got different sizes, maybe you'd want to change the price there as well as the quantity. So let's say that I've got 10 of each. So I'll put in 10. Okay, we gotta click up like that. There we go, 10 of each. And let's just go ahead and click save now that we've done all that. And while we're here, we're going to go all the way back down to the bottom and you'll see our website SEO. So this is what's going to actually show up on Google. So if I just go to Google, I'll type in, let's say GoPro. So this is GoPros right here. So GoPro, the world's most versatile action cameras, and then they've got their meta description here. So this is how yours would look on Google if you were to show up. So if you wanted to edit this, you could just by clicking on Edit Website SEO. And then if you just scroll down, you can edit the page title. So let's say I want to put my actual name of my company in here. So obviously if you just saw Voyager Travel Backpack, there's nothing, nothing descriptive about it. So let's just put a dash, or let's say a slant, Wander Travel Apparel, like that. That way they know it's an apparel company and we probably got more stuff. And then you can edit your meta description here. I've just got all the same info from the description up top. So maybe if you wanted to take out some of the specs, so I'll just cancel everything from specs all the way to the care instructions. And we'll just leave it as the product description and what it can fit. And then you can also edit the URL. So this would be your URL here, and then Voyager-travel-backpack. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it. So now I'm just going to click on save again. I save a lot because you want to make sure you don't lose your hard work. It's happened to me before and it's not fun. Okay, so let's preview our product. Boom. It's looking awesome, right? So it tells you what it's worth and then the sale price on it, which is awesome. And you can kind of scroll around and look at it, and you can select the different colors. So obviously they'd want to make sure that they select the color here, beige, black, or blue. And then they can just add it to their cart or buy it now as a guest checkout. Cool. So now I'm going to create one more product. It's another backpack because it has something to do with the next step about collections. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Okay, cool. So now we can move on to step number 4, which is to create new collections. So to do this, we're just going to go over to the left-hand menu and click on Collections. And as you can see, by default, we've already got the homepage collection. So this is the one that shows up on your homepage. So if I just open up my store in a new window, it is this one right here, the featured collection. So we're going to go ahead and edit that one. So if we just click on homepage, we're just going to rename it to featured products. And then we're just going to go down and add both of the backpacks to it. So I'm just going to browse my products here, and I'm just going to check the Explorer hiking backpack as well and click done. And now we've got both in there. And then I'm just going to go up to save. Cool. So now both of those are going to show up on my home page. Now if you want to create a new collection, just go over to collections again and then just click on create collection. Cool. And I'm just going to call this one travel and hiking backpacks. Now obviously when you have more products, you can do more than just create backpack collections, but that's the only two products I made, so I'm going to stick with it. And then you can add a description here if you want to, but for the sake of keeping this short, I am not going to do that. And then you can manually add products to it if you select manual. But automated is a good way whenever you're creating lots of products where you don't have to go back and manually add them all in. So you can create tags for these products. So let me show you how to create a tag before I jump into this. So I'm just going to go back to all products, and I'm going to open that up in a new tab. And I'm just going to go back to my original backpack. And then over here underneath product type, you can write what it is. So I'll put backpack like that. And then I'm going to keep the vendor as myself. And then underneath tags, I'm going to put backpack. And I will put travel backpack. And then you could fill this up with more descriptive tags. So I'm just going to click save, and then I'm going to go back to collections, and then I'm going to create a new collection. So again, we're going to start this over again. So I'm going to rename this again. Cool. So now automated, what you want to do is if you go to product tag, you can set what the title is or the tag. I think tag is a good way to go. So leave it as product tag is equal to, and then we're going to put in backpack. And now whatever product that you tag as backpack is going to automatically be added to this travel and hiking backpacks collection here. And obviously yours is going to be different than travel and hiking bags, but you get the idea. So now I'm just going to scroll up and hit save. And you could also add an image. Oops. You can add an image right here if you want to. Why not? Let's add an image. I'm going to click add an image, and I will just grab this one with this guy with a back. Actually, I'll do our hero image like that because he's got a backpack on. So now I'm going to hit save one more time, and I'm going to view this collection. Cool. So travel and hiking backpacks, there's our image. Obviously, we would want to adjust that image a little bit, but you can see that there's a backpack in it, and then our backpacks will show up here. Now, I didn't tag the other backpack with backpack. So if I did that, it would also show up here, but I only tagged the one. And then any product that you create with that tag will automatically populate into this collection. Okay, so step number 5 is to create discount codes. Discount codes are a great way to get people to hop off the fence and buy your products. So let's go over to the left-hand menu and click on discounts. And then we're just going to create a discount code. Now I'm just going to call this Welcome 20 because this is for newcomers to our website. They get 20% off on their first purchase. And then you can do different types of discount codes. So this one is going to be 20% off, so I'm going to leave percentage checked. Or you could do a fixed amount. You could do a free shipping discount code and then just call it free shipping, or free wander, whatever your company name is. And then you can also do buy X and get Y. So if you buy a certain product, you get another product for free, which is an awesome new addition. Okay, so for discount value, I've got it set to percentage, and I'm just going to add 20%. And I'm going to leave it set to entire order, but if you wanted, you could do specific collections or products. And then at minimum requirements, I'm not going to put one in, but if somebody buys, let's say $1,000 worth of product, maybe you might want to, but you could do that here. And then the next important part is the usage limits. So we're going to limit this to 1 use per customer. And then you can put the start date and the start time in here. So you would just select here and then grab one from the calendar, but I'm just going to leave it as today's date. And then if you wanted, you could set an end date on it. So if you're running a sale, maybe it's like, Black Friday. So you would name the coupon code Black Friday 40 because you're giving 40% off your entire order. Then you would want to put a start and an end date in here. So you'd want to check set end date. Okay, so I'm going to hit save discount code. And if you wanted to promote this discount code on your social media or whatever you're driving traffic to your store with, let's say you've got an Instagram or a YouTube, or Pinterest, whatever it might be, you can just hit get shareable link, and then you could just copy the link and use that on social media and say, hey, any new people that want to come in and buy stuff, you get 20% off your first order. Okay, so step number 6 is to manage orders, analytics, and apps. So I'm going to break these down one by one. So what I'm going to do first is just go on over to orders. And on this page, this is where all of your order information is going to show up once you actually make your store live and people start buying products from you. And then you can also see that you've got an abandoned checkouts box. So this is people that made it all the way to checkout and then decided not to buy for whatever reason. So this is going to house all of that information. But right now we haven't sold anything, so nothing's going to show up. So next, let's just go on over to analytics. And here is where you've got a ton of helpful data about your store's performance. So as you can see, I've got 3 sessions already. That's just me clicking on my own site, but it tells you your sales, how many people are clicking onto your site, your return customers, all sorts of amazing data that will help you sell product better. So even right here, you've got online store sessions by traffic source. So if you've got an Instagram or a YouTube or Pinterest or whatever it is that you're driving traffic to this from, it will show you where they're coming over from. So that's also really helpful. It allows you to focus on certain areas where you're driving traffic. And next, we've got apps. So if we click on apps, apps are basically third-party plugins that allow you to increase the functionality of your store and make it a little bit better than just the stock apps that come with Shopify. But if you want to get more apps, you can just click on the Visit the Shopify App Store and find a ton of them here. So as I said earlier, Oberlo is a great dropshipping app, which you can find right here, and it's free. And then you've also got AliExpress dropshipping, which is actually where I got that backpack from. So I'll pull that up. Here's AliExpress. It's basically a wholesale dropshipping store. So they've got their own app just for that right there, and that's also free. And another one that you're going to want is some sort of product reviews app. So if we go up to search and type in product reviews, then you've got a free one right here called product reviews, and this is by Shopify. So reviews really help people buy and get off the fence when they can see that other people are really enjoying your products. So I do recommend that one as well. And then you're also going to want one for email opt-ins, like a pop-in that allows people to opt into your mailing list. So a good one is called Privy. And it's right here, Privy, exit pop-ups and email. So this one's also free. Email marketing is a really important part of selling product because when you can actually reach and speak to your customers through email, they're much more likely to click on sales and coupons and actually buy product. Okay, so step number 7 is to select a Shopify plan. So in order to make your Shopify store go live and start selling your product, then we need to select a plan. So I'm just going to click on select a plan down here at the bottom. So what I recommend doing is just going with the cheapest plan, which is the $29 a month plan. And now what you could do is go with the $80 a month plan if you're going to be pulling in a lot of money per month, because the credit card rate is lower with the $79 plan than the $29. So start out with the $29, which is their cheapest plan. And then if you start pulling in lots of money, then you might want to jump up to a higher plan. But you would just go ahead and click choose this plan. And then you can choose to be billed monthly or yearly or every 2 years if you want. And it saves you, anywhere from $36 to $138, which is awesome. And then you could just put in your credit card and then click start plan. So now we've got our entire store up and running. So if I just select the eyeball we can look at our store. So our store is looking great. We've got our menu up here at the top, and it's even got the drop down. We've got our button that goes to our collections with our hero image. We've got our featured products. And again, the more products you make, the more that you'll have in this featured collection to kind of fill it out. And then we've got just all sorts of descriptive sections about our new Shopify store. And obviously these will all be, tailored to your site. So it is looking awesome. All right, guys, so that was a complete Shopify tutorial step by step. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, it would help me a lot if you hit that like button on the video. And if you want more awesome e-commerce tutorials, more Shopify tutorials in the future, then please feel free to subscribe to my channel. All right, guys, I will see you on the next one.